Hi student, welcome to online classes on model 3 beam elements. Okay, in previous class we derived the Hermite function of the beam element, along with we also derived the elemental stiffness matrix for the beam element. Okay, now we'll move to the problems which is related to the element step function and element stiffness matrix. Okay, as already I told in the previous class, there are three kind of load. One is UDL, another is point load, another is varying distributed load. Okay, now we'll see the some problems which is related to the beam element. Okay, right, first one. Now read the problem carefully. Solve for the slopes at point 2 and 3. At point 2 and 3 using the beam elements for the structure shown in below figure. Also determine the deflection at the center portion of the beam carrying UDL. Okay, so here solve for the slopes at point 2 and 3 using a beam elements for the structure shown in figure below. Also determine the deflection at the center of the portion of the beam carrying the UDL. Okay, now this is the given figure. So again you have to take the given two nodes, two element and three nodes, 1 2 3, element 2, element 1. He given the length, the element 1, length of the element 1 is L1, the length of the element is L2. Again you can draw here also, you can draw the FEM model. Same again procedure remains same like in the truss or like in the 1D bar element. FEM first step is FE model, that is this end is fixed. Again you can write Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6. Okay, or you can write here twisting moment will get, here also twisting moment, again here also twisting moment, and remember these points. Okay, now solution. The given data, what he given a E and I, that is Young's modulus and modulus of resistivity, both he given. Let us the module given system as two elements and three nodes. So it is element 2, element 1, node 1, node 2, node 3. Okay, so that is as already said, that is FE module having 2 degree of freedom. Having 2 degree of freedom for each element, determine the stiffness matrix. So each element having the, it may be either move or it may be rotate, but it is having 2 degree of freedom. It may be x-axis or it may be y-axis, or it may be pull or it may be rotate. Okay, so hence it is a 2 degree of freedom system. Now first FE module is over. Again second step is, what is second step? Element stiffness matrix. The element stiffness matrix for the beam element is given by, the element stiffness matrix of the beam in the element by, just previous class I derived this equation. Okay, that is K is equal to EI by LE cube, 12 6 LE minus 12 6 LE 6 LE 4 LE square minus 6 LE 2 LE square minus 12 6 LE 12 minus 6 LE 6 LE 2 LE square minus 6 LE 4 LE square. So this is the element stiffness matrix for the beam element. Now we have two elements, element 1 and element 2. So it means we need to derive the two stiffness matrix. So stiffness matrix for element 1 and element 2. So element stiffness matrix for the element 1 is no, E is given, I is given, L is given. E is how much is given? 200 GPa, I is 4 into 10 to the power of 6, and L1 L2 equal to 1 meter. So you can keep as it is. So element stiffness matrix for 1 and element stiffness matrix for 2. Now the third step, global stiffness matrix. So what is global stiffness matrix? Again it is a summation of K equal to K1 plus K2, where K is what? Element stiffness matrix. K1 is the element stiffness matrix for element 1, K2 is the element stiffness matrix for element 2. So therefore K is equal to K1 plus K2. Now you can write the same procedure, again addition of, again by using these two method, 3 by 3 will get 12 and 3 by 3 you have 12, 12 plus 12 it becomes 24, and one more will get 4 by 4, 4 by 3, so 4 by 3, 4 by 3, that is 4 by 3 is minus 6, and 4 by 3 is plus 6. So plus 6 minus 6, it becomes 0. So just I return. Another is 4 plus 4, 4 by 4, and 4 by 4 will get 4 plus 4 is 8. Again here also will get minus 6 plus 6, it becomes 0. So these are the 4 values, or I can get the in from element 1 and element 2. So this is a global stiffness matrix. Then after global stiffness matrix, load vector. Okay, load vector. So right, the load vector because of UDL, because the given condition is UDL. See here, the load vector due to UDL. Here element 1 does not have any load, so no need to take about either UDL, UAL or point load. You can directly take it is 0, F is equal to 0. But here it is given as the UDL, that is uniform distributed load. So the element 1 does not contain any UDL, hence all the force or all the element will be treated as 0. So that is F1 is equal to F1, F2 plus F3, F4 equal to 0, 0, 0, because neither is not given UDL nor UL nor point load. So directly given blank, so we'll keep all the elements should be 0. Now but element 2, what is element 2 is given? Element 2 is given as UDL. So that is point load is given. Sorry, UDL load is given. Again to calculate the UDL we have a formula. For element 2 that has UDL, it is equivalent to the load moment are represented as, in previous case or in previous class I given the value of UDL. Okay, in previous class I given the value of UDL. So where we know the value of this PL cube by 12, PL cube, PL square by 12, PL square by 12 and PL square by 12. So just F2 is equal to F3, F4, F5, F6, that is you write 6000 minus 6000 minus 10,000 minus 6,000 plus 1,000. So because we have the formulas, so just I will return the values here also. Now element node 2, I return element 1 is over, element 2 is over. Now I can write global stiffness matrix. Okay, F1 plus F2, F is equal to F1 plus F2, F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, that's because it is again global load vector. F is equal to F1 plus F2, so we'll get the global load vector. Next, from the next step is equilibrium equation. What is equilibrium equation? Again, for equilibrium equation we know that KQ equal to F or KQ minus F. KQ equal to F you can write, or you can write KQ minus F equal to 0. So better to go with for equilibrium equation KQ equal to F, we can write stiffness matrix, displacement matrix and load vector. Okay, now after that apply the boundary condition. What is boundary condition again? The boundary condition at node 1, since it is a fixed with both ends, it is fixed. See here, it is fixed. So here Q1 and Q2 becomes directly 0. Then at node 2, because of ruler Q3 at node 3, again ruler at Q5. See here carefully, it is ruler and it is also ruler. Vertical force will get, because it is a ruler, but this force it is having will get the certain thing. Q3 will get, but Q4 becomes 0. Q5 will get, but Q6 becomes 0. Okay, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6, Q1, 2 directly 0 because it is fixed. Q3 is a ruler. If it is fixed, directly become both the 0. But he given red link, it is he given as ruler support. So Q4 is 0, Q3 will get certain load. Again Q5 is ruler, Q6 will get the certain load or certain point. So I will write the Q5 equal to 0. Again by use the elimination method, just I will go eliminate 0, first column, first row, second column, second row, third column, third row, fifth column, fifth row. Now again the left matrix is 8, 2, 2, 4, Q4, Q6. So minus 10,000 plus minus 1,000 plus 1,000 we can solve that matrix. We'll get the Q4 is equal to minus 2.679 into 10 to the power of minus 4, and Q6 is 4.46 into 10 to the power of minus 4 mm. Again, we also can determine the maximum deflection at the middle of the element. We can write displacement h1 q3 plus h2 q3 Le by 2, hq h3 q5 plus h4 q6 Le by 2. So just we got the Le value and we know the deflection. Just you write, we will get the deflection at the midpoint. Deflection at the midpoint is minus 0.089 mm. So this is the simple problem. So you can just go through. Before going to, as already told, so the equivalent load formula is very important. This one, whether it is UDL or VAL or point load, that has to be remember, very important. Okay, so thank you.